Pea-Pie's eyes shot open. Her face was buried in a red pillow, stained from her tears. She quivered as she very gently tried to lift herself from the bed. She was afraid of seeing her bed soaked, covered in blood, evidence of a horrific deed she had committed. But her bed was dry, save for her tears. She suddenly placed a herb to her face, putting the still fresh tears on her cheek. She shivered as her hair moved to cover her eyes, still shocked at sights she had seen. How could I? The vivid images of the nightmare she just had slept through came back in her mind. Perfect cries sang vividly in her ears. The coat soaked with blood. The feel of slicing open another living being. It felt so ill. Pea-Pie shook her head viciously, trying to remove these spots from her head. Why am I having all these dreams? She rammed her head into her head, trying to stop the images as were assaulting her. For the past 2 weeks, she'd been having restless nights of sleep. She was having nightmares every night. The severity of what they showed were getting worse and worse with each one. The first dream had been too scary. She was just attacked by a monster. She just shrugged it off easily, and it wasn't too different from a normal day, really. From there, the monsters changed. One night, she was attacked by the pony of death, who wanted her soul for damnation. Another night, it was a faceless London pony, whose presence scraped her very being. Then the next, she suffered from a deceased and starvation as her body began to rot, was denied death from pain. She could handle those dreams. They weren't real at all. A good party with her friends made all those scary thoughts go away. She tried changing her diet for a day to see if the bad dreams would go away. And it worked for a night, but only for a night. The next night, she had turned to being a monster. One with sharp teeth and claws. She was the monster, and she had attacked and eaten herself. She still remembered the gagging taste that Jane had left in her mouth. The next dream had her terrorizing ponies throughout Ponyville. She attacked homes, crops, products, and lives. And the next night, she attacked each of her friends. They could feel the berserk rage of the monster as it had slashed and tore them apart indiscriminately. But at least it was quick death. Friends and suffered in that dream. But the dream last night was different. It was personal. She was a monster again last night. But it was different. She was just herself. No flame, no claws, no blades, but a monster. In her dreams, she had captured her friend, her dearest friend named Ash. She had taken sharp objects and Pinky dashed into her bathroom before emptying the contents of her stomach into the toilet. As the vivid images of what she'd done in her dream flashed before her once more, she felt wretched. How could her mind even come anywhere close to thinking of such horrible, horrific things? She loved her friends. She loved them more than the sun, than the sweets, than her body, than life itself. Especially Ash. Ash was the coolest, most awesome, fun-loving pony she'd ever met. If she wanted to just hang out and have fun or pull some pranks, share some sweets, or help through a great party, it was Ash who was there for her. She wiped her mouth as she gargled and looked at herself in the mirror. Her mane was straight, her eyes were bloodshot, back under her eyes, the coat was dull with a sickly look, and she was breathing quite heavily. She looked terrible. She answered some cold water and repeatedly splashed her face with it. She really wanted to see Yoshi with that. She had to know she was okay, but at the same time, she couldn't do it until the memories of that team had faded more. She had to get out so she could corner for the day. She wouldn't be able to hold back any more of her stomach if she even smelled a cupcake. Pinkie tried to stay in the shadows of the building as she quietly walked through Ponyville. The fresh air and warm sun weren't any comfort today. She didn't want to look at any point either, worried the faces would trigger another flash of the awful images in her mind. She had nowhere in mind to go. She just had to wonder how to get away from Cube Corner, from her room, from anything that would remind her. She looked up at her own. She had lost track of how much time had passed since she started her little trek. Thankful no one had stopped to ask her why she was acting so differently today. She knew the other ponies had started to notice dips in her cheeriness ever since the change. She'd been throwing more parties than ever before. But more and more they wanted to know. Violet had even asked her if something was there, and she'd done her best to reassure her friend. Wait! Twilight! Violet was a great magical pony. If any pony could figure out a way to stop these dreams, she did. She winced at the idea of having to tell Twilight about the horrific things in her mind had imagined about her friends. But maybe she wouldn't have to. Twilight might find a solution without having to know what strange was. She picked up her pace, running straight for the library. It didn't take long. She figured her body must have been tamed her. She had by instinct. It did have a funny way of looking that way. She ran to the door and knocked it a little frantically. It didn't take long for the door to kick open. Oh, hey, Pinkie Pie, Twilight said, surprised but happy to see her friend. Is this an invitation to a party again? Twilight stopped as she blinked, noticing the distressed look of her friend. Are you alright, Pinkie? You don't look so good. No, alright, Twilight. Can I come in? Pinkie said, minding her manners for once. Of course, Pinkie. Please, make yourself at home. Twilight said, offering her friend hospitality. Thank you, Pinkie said, as she quietly trotted into the house to take the hand from the table in the center of the room, sitting on one of the red velvet pillows before. She rested her head on the table, closing her eyes as she took a soft sigh to try to relax. None of her friends ever had residence. I guess get you something to drink? Perhaps some chocolate? I said. No sweets, please. If you have some coffee, that'd be great. I'm feeling sick. Pinkie softly groaned. No sweets? Twilight said in shock. Oh no, this really is serious, she said as she quickly prepared for the hot thing to request. She levitated before Pinkie, who quickly took it and began to drink. She grimaced at the bitter taste. Pinkie, what's the matter? You can tell me, Twilight said, sitting down next to her downcast friend. Twilight could see the signs. Her mane was straight. Her coat was dull. Her eyes blitzed off her back's undertone, and most notable of all, she wasn't reading the erratic aura of Pinkie Pie. Oh, Twilight, it's awful. Pinkie put her hands over her head. It's the most awful thing that's ever happened to me. I can't even believe what's happened to me. It's so awful. I can't sleep. I can't rest. Even parties not helping. I need relief. I need to stop this. But everything I've tried only seems to make it worse. He said, her voice was quivering. But I couldn't help be surprised at how terrified her friend sounded. Pinkie, tell me, what exactly is this awful thing that happened? Twilight tried to reassure Pinkie. Everything was good. Pinkie took a big breath, sealing the door. I've been having nightmares, Twilight, Pinkie finally said. Awful, horrible, relentless nightmares. I'm destroying more pies and get bed, I turned the lights on for bed. I even tried falling asleep in her hands and with a lemon in my mouth while I was out. Nothing works. Last night nightmare was the worst of them all. Nightmares? Polly said, tapping her head for a moment. 1 second, she said as she got up and quickly ran over to the bookshelf. She reeled the whole book out of books, checking them out, scanning them one by one. No, not you. You're not the right one. You're not the right either. It took about 10 minutes before Polly finally pulled the book and looked at satisfied. Aha! She said as she turned it back to the table, opening the book, flipping through the pages quickly. Nightmares, Twilight began after having stuff out of the specific page. A theme of strong native emotions, a common occurrence that most ponies will experience. However, if the nightmares persist or become more terrifying, these episodes could be several reasons. Extreme forces such as medication or diet, which we've already ruled out, for an addendum, a stolen stress from recent physical or mental events were caused by a physical event any time during the pony's life. That has left deep impact. There are several ways to determine what kind of nightmare is being experienced, and what the best manner of treating them are. I said before, someday being the next part. So that book can help me stop the nightmares? Yeah. Hope emphasizing part. Looks that way. Of course, I can't save you from having nightmares for the rest of your life, though. Turn over constantly, big, and helping with your constant nightmare issue. She said, still reading. There's a spell in here that'll let me look into your mind to see the memories of your dreams. That way I can see what you've been dreaming about and apply the proper spell to try to help. Hope had risen inside Pinkie Pie fell into her gut like a boulder into a lake. No, Twilight, Pinkie said, shaking her head furiously. You can't see my dreams. There. Pinkie covered her face with her hers. The too horrible, Twilight. I don't want any pony to see what I've seen. Her voice was trembling. Tears were starting to leave her eyes once more. Then looked up at Twilight when she felt Twilight's serve press against her shoulder. The look of concern on her face. I can't imagine what kind of dreams you've been having, Pinkie. I can see the pain in your funny face. It's affecting your heart. I can't just let this go. You came here for help, and I'm going to help you. Please, don't let me see what you see, so that I can help. Twilight please her friend. Pinkie lowered her head. She held back the tears, running at her eyes with all her might, swallowing hard as she knew her friend wanted to make everything better. I might have to do so. Twilight, Pinkie nodded. First, leaned back, sobbed. Yes, what is it, Pinkie? Twilight asked in a similar hushed voice. Please, you have to promise me that what you're about to see won't change your opinion about me. Pinkie sniffed deeply. I swear, Pinkie, I don't think you are as anything but the dear friend I know and love. Twilight said. Pinkie saw her smile. It was so reassuring and so comforting. But Pinkie Pie swear? Pinkie asked her one last time. Twilight just seemed to smile, a little amused. Cross my heart and hope to fly, stick a cupcake in my eye. Twilight did the motions. The Pinkie Pie promised never kings, sticking the pasting into her face. Pinkie took a moment to let it sink in and squeeze her eyes shut and lowered her head a little bit. Alright, I trust you, Twilight. Pinkie Pie softly muttered as she did prepare for whatever was going to happen next. Twilight nodded softly. She remembered the spell from the book, her horn glowing with light as she concentrated on it. She gently swept her hair, covering pieces in his forehead, behind her ears, hold it. Gently tapped on the tip of her horn against Pinky's skull. Leave me alone! The slender pony approached regardless. Static screeched at her as it drew closer. Pain shocked her body. From one side to the other, as blood seemed to splash cloud of prison, turning the world red. She fell to her knees, trying to grasp reality before the pain and sound became too much to bear. There was a hole in her body. She could feel the arms wriggling in it, crawling up into her torso. They were eating her alive. The pain clawed into her very soul, but yet death would not come. Her body lay there, unflinching, as the insects had their way, feeling every wriggle and slime of their bodies as they slid under her skin. Bones crushed in his teeth, his blood spit down her chin. The first taste of gooey flesh slid down her throat. Some teeth went down again into his side, on his pony's neck. As the pony's head fell above her body, giving her a good chunk of flesh to chew. The taste was revolting. She craved it. She had to have it. She had to have more. Her teeth dug into the pony's skull, crushing the skull as the inner organs began to shrivel in her mouth. She had to have more. This one would never be enough. The screams had died down for now, but that wouldn't last for long. Why are you doing this? It was the pain that the cry of Fanfictions. She could see her tied down to a table, things always sawn off by her own hooves. But that's every pony dies sometime. The voice betrayed her as she pulled out a scalpel. It's just simply concept, really. It's just, I think, did my life mean anything? Did I die on purpose? Will my memory be left when I'm gone? Important questions. She walked towards him with past. She could feel the murderous intent grasping at every fiber of her being. But that hiccup through the pain and tears. I won't have to die for a good purpose. If you kill me, there was a shout. How could you do this to me? She gazed at her and headed Fanfictions' face. She leaned close to her. There was an attraction she could never describe as having felt before. The birth was hot, and her body betrayed her mind. Only with us, if you don't know the reason by now, you'll never understand. This is just how things have to be. She stepped back from her prisoner. They were only looking confused, but she was that look. She gripped her scalpel and placed it at the base of Fanfictions' hip and sliced down her leg. Pain overtook Fanfictions' face and voice as she began her delicate slicing operation. After all, she had to prepare the ingredients just right. Twilight stumbled back, her head kicked back instinctively, wanting to escape from the horrors inside of Piggy's mind. Twilight crashed into a bookcase, causing a cassette of books to fall onto her. She was breathing heavily, frantic and panicked. The spell only took a few seconds to complete, but the rest of all the chain memories at her all at once. Those dreams were perfect, so real. She had felt everything in those dreams, even though dreams should not normally contain such vivid feelings. The monster that attacked her, the feeling of bugs crawling all throughout her skin and organs, the gagging pain of flesh and throat, the torture, the acts she had committed, seemed more performance. Twilight, came a scared, timid, almost hushed voice. Twilight snapped from her thoughts and looked at her pink phone. She was trembling with fear. She stared at her eyes outside. These were the two things Piggy was having. The dreams that were terrifying her. The dreams that she had come to her for help with. Pinky, Twilight finally muttered, swallowing back her own emotions and stomach contents. I had no idea, she said secondly, getting to her feet and slowly walking back to her phone. She had to be strong right now. Twilight, Pinky sniffled through her sobs. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you saw them. She closed her eyes, gasping for air after her sobs. Twilight quickly moved next to Pinky, taking her into the place to hold her tight. Pinky cried desperately to Twilight's shoulder. Twilight held her dear friend against her. She knew she had all of her support. The images may have had made a stomach twist, but her friend was more important than that. It's okay, Pinky, Twilight said once Pinky saw her start to calm down. I can see how much these dreams have been eating at you. The thing in those dreams is not you, so we just have to figure out why you're having them, Twilight said, letting her friend dearly know she had in fact kept her promise. The Pinky in her arms was nothing like the Pinky that appeared in the dreams. Pinky only nodded her head in agreement, while finally being able to stop her tears and let go of Twilight. Twilight went into her book, flipped a few pages. Since we know it's not a diet, we need to determine if it's because of recent offense or if it's something much deeper in your psyche. So let's start there. When did the dreams start happening? Well, Piggy had her face trying to decide. The dreams started after a few days after the Grand Gambling Gala. And they've been happening about every night for the last 2 weeks. They didn't happen one night after I changed my diet, but then they just came back the next day, Piggy said, trying to recall how often she'd have them. Well, the gala was a pretty big incident. You certainly seemed fine at the donut shop. But what about after that? I know you say you have some business to attend to before you head back to Ponyville, so we didn't see you again when we were heading to the chariot, I wondered. Well, how did I spend time with you guys? I went to meet with my sister Octavia. She was the one playing the show on stage during the gala. She was the main reason I was able to get away with my music antics while there. I wanted to go thank her for helping me try to liven things up, Piggy said, recalling the night. She was a little mad at first for the mess I caused, but she forgave me, and me and I had a very fun chat about what we've both been up to since we left the farm. After a little while, it was time for me to go, so we promised to keep each other in touch. Twilight pondered this. Do you think it's because the meeting with your sister that could have started the dreams? Twilight asked curiously. I wouldn't understand if she did, Piggy said, putting her on her chin and thought. We had a fun night that night. There wasn't anything that she said that was negative. Have you got a letter from me yet? I did get one, but I was just letting me know that she was doing the performing concert in Philadelphia. She said that the band was touring out, so if I wanted to send letters, I had to address them to her fans. Her fans, since the incase know where to be, Peggy said, looking ahead and thought. Again, there was nothing negative though. Well, what about the last 2 weeks then? They seemed mostly fine. Here's his way of what as chipper. Charlie said, remembering Pinkie Pie was a little less hyper than usual the last few days. She suddenly could understand why now though. No, nothing significant. I've been throwing more pies because of the trees, but it's just the knife I used from Ponyville. He said, shaking her head slowly. I see. Well, I went back to consulting her books and the pages of the book. Flipping through somewhat, looking for what would be best to handle this. Here we are. Another spell. This one is a bit more mind of. Its intention is to find the source of your problems though. Now let us find out why you're having these dreams. Be it a minor or major reason, I said confidently. So don't worry, Pinkie. I'm going to make sure you'll be all better in no time. She gave her friend a confident smile. Thank you, Twilight. Pinkie said, giving a soft smile back. Alright, the book says the spell can be a little disoriented at first, but you'll get used to it. Ready? Twilight asked. Pinkie gave her a nod. Then here goes nothing, I said, taking a deep breath as she concentrated once more, before flying up with light. She lowered it towards Pinkie's forehead once more, and gently touched her. Pinkie's mind flipped and felt like it fell to a hazy floor. She lost track the surroundings as if it felt like she was falling very far height. The world was spinning around her as she felt like wind was rushing past her. Her stomach swirled inside of her as she was inside. It was a tense feeling. She wondered just how long she was going to feel this way. But she finally felt the pulse stabilizing with a thud. Knocked the wind out of her. She gasped for breath, coughing a bit before feeling the sensation of the ground beneath her. She lifted her head and shook it lightly before slowly opening her eyes. She was still in the library. That was for sure, but Twilight was missing. Why would she leave her alone in the library? Twilight? She called out, but the only thing that came back was a hollow echo. This is bizarre. The library seemed eerily quiet, even more so than usual when Twilight wasn't around. She looked into the nothing. Two things on a bag and a note. She carefully read the notes. Words on the note. It was cost of darkness to see the light. Pinkie looked at a piece of paper, a little confused. Did Twilight write this? If she did, what did it mean? Was she supposed to take this back with her? Twilight must know what she's doing after all. She wouldn't just abandon her without a good reason. Pinkie opened the bag, looking to see if there was anything inside it. There were two things inside. The first thing was obvious of what it was. It was a lantern. Inside was heck. There was a knob on the side. She assumed it would turn the lantern on. If she was going to use it, she'd have to make sure not to use up all the oil. She gently placed the lantern back into the bag. What's this? She asked as she pulled out a rectangular device. It had a dial on it and an antenna, but it was an object she was familiar with. It had a face, like a picture on it. a circle on it that had holes. In her mind, it kind of looked like a miniature phonograph. But how would this tiny thing play music? In her hoof, it began to spring to life, playing a soft static sound. Piggy started by surprised by the sudden sound. She stared at it as it burst. The sound seemed like a bunch of bees being mixed to a DJ tape. She poked the device with her hoof. After a few moments, the buzzing stopped. He looked confused, but had the gut instinct that must be something important. She placed it back in the bag. I guess Twilight believed I needed this bag. Okay, to her advised, making mud to herself as she deftly stuck the bag on the back. She then looked around. The library seemed to hold no more clues for the moment. So she decided to step outside. She felt more comfortable now that she had mentioned in Twilight. So maybe she would go visit her with us now. Huh? He said, stopping sort of a few feet from the door. A thick fog had fallen all around Ponyville. It was so thick she couldn't even see the buildings next to the library. She had to get close to a building if she wanted to see one. Then she started to shiver as a wind blew by. The temperature had fallen a significant amount. What's going on? I've never seen this kind of weather in Ponyville before. Piggy said, confused. Did Amethyst do this? Why would she? Piggy knew. She had to find Amethyst and talk to her now. She quickly began to run off in the direction she knew Amethyst's house would be. She was in a full gallop. When she suddenly realized she had to come to a full stop, she stared out along the ground, stopping along the edge. A few pebbles being taken loose, falling in front of her. It was a gigantic chasm that had never been in Ponyville right before her. It cut right down Amethyst's house. In fact, you can't even tell right outside of Ponyville if you didn't have wings. What's going on? She asked as she stared into what seemed to be a bottomless pit.